Welcome back to Chicago Cars Direct. Today we're going to spend some time with one of my road-going favorites. This is the 2006 Honda S2000. Under the hood of this S2000, you're going to find Honda's familiar 2.2 liter. Now, in the 05 and newer model year, they switched from a 2 liter to a 2.2 because one of the biggest criticisms of this car is it didn't have a lot of low-end torque. The original S2000 had a 2 liter with a 9,000 RPM redline. That's like a motorcycle engine. But this particular one's 2.2 liters. It's an 8,000 RPM redline, which seems a little bit more suited to the car. 240 horsepower. It's routed to a 6-speed manual. It's the only transmission you can get in this car from the factory, which is in turn routed to the rear wheels. Now, the thing to understand about this car is it is not just a sporting car, it is a full-on sports car. It handles with the absolute best of them. It's a blast to drive. It is razor sharp. The steering, every input you can put into this car, you're going to feel a reaction right off the bat. But this was a Honda certified pre-owned car when we purchased it. And the condition will speak volumes because this interior is probably one of the cleanest engine bays I've ever seen. But let's take a walk around it. It's exceptional. When we look at these cars, I like to point out any imperfections, and even though I've looked over it about 3 times, I really can't even find a stone chip. There's a couple of really extremely light, just touched up stone chips, within the bumper, but nothing that even from 5 feet away you could ever key up, even if you were the most analytical buyer. But the paint on this car looks brand new. No, this car is, like I said, Honda certified. Doesn't mean it really carries anything with it, but this car was purchased as a Honda certified unit. But taking a look down the side, these are a 215/45 R17 Bridgestone Potenzas up here. This is the factory wheel. This is all standard. Proper S2000 badging there. But look at the reflection in that gorgeous black paint. On the rear, you do have a staggered size wheel. This one on the rear is a 245/40 R17. Again, all factory stock. But coming around the rear, really pay attention to the quality of that black paint. I mean, this car's been so well babied throughout its entire lifetime. It is almost brand new perfect. If it had 5,000 miles on it, you probably wouldn't even argue with me that it was wrong. But it does have 25 on it. But for an 06 in black, it's a pretty sexy car. In the trunk of the S2000, you're going to find ample storage compartment. It actually goes pretty deep here. I do have the original factory floor mats. As you can see, it's excessively deep. And then beyond that, right below here, you're going to find your jack tools should you have to change a tire out. The S2000 is a 2-passenger convertible, but I mean, it fits you like a glove. You get in, this is not for the widest of statures, but I mean, once you're in, these seats are very, very sport-oriented, manual adjustment on both sides, but you really get an unbelievable seating position. The visibility is phenomenal, but everything falls right to your place here. You can even cover up the stereo while you're in your driver's perspective so that you're not distracted by much other than the driving experience. It's kind of a unique starting sequence here. I'm going to put the clutch in, turn the key forward, and that puts the car into the on position. But to start it with the clutch still down, there's a button over here that says engine start. Fires the car right up. Pretty cool. But once you're there, you got a really interesting layout for the gauges here. You can see your 8,000 RPM digital redline, but you have a full digital display in there. But you do have all of your major creature comforts. Over here, you're going to find your audio control. I'll hit it there once. You got the air conditioning system. It does have a special convertible top setting, so the air is directed optimally for a convertible top-down motoring experience. Right here is VSA. That's the vehicle skid assist, which I think is the acronym for Honda. But beyond that, you got cruise control. Below here, you got an AM/FM CD player with a phenomenal stereo, especially being paired to a convertible. You're going to find one of the greatest 6-speed shifters that I know of. So precise. I love that. You got a power convertible top with the roof here, and then not too much else, but what else do you need when you're motoring in a car of this size? The power roof operation on here is really simple. You saw the button on the console. Just press it forward. Just put this fastener in place here. Latch it to the roof on both sides. That's it, you're done. Behind the wheel experience of the S2000 is a sedate one if you choose for it to be. It's no more difficult than a Miata. Very hardwired though. I mean, the slightest inputs to the steering wheel move the car. It almost feels as if it's not power, but it is power steering. Now you got a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's an inline. It's technically a mid-engine car because the engine does lie back of the front axle. It's a pretty long front end on this car for the overall dimensions. But when we take this thing out here, you should get a feel for the VTEC. Basically what happens is at about 5,500 RPMs, there is a second lobe of the cam that kicks in that allows the engine to breathe better. So in its better breathing, it allows for more horsepower. We'll show you that here in a second. Communicates so well. And listen to the blip throttle downshift here. 4th to 3rd. We're gonna go under a tunnel here. This will sound crazy. I guess for a commentary on this car, the whole thing to really reiterate is Honda. Hondas are some of the most reliable cars out there, some of the most enjoyable cars out there, and they really don't complain when they're driven hard. This car really does not just not complain to be driven hard, it really likes being driven hard. It should be put up into its VTEC mode. The car really does want to rev, and it makes all its power on the high end as you saw. But, I mean, for a car in this kind of condition, knowing it's so close to factory new, it's shocking. I don't know why anybody would consider a new one when you consider the brand new car is identical to the one that you take delivery of here. Engine, driveline, and all. Got a couple of great pieces of information here. I have the AutoCheck and Carfax vehicle history report. On both of them, they're both uniform. It's a one-owner car with no blemishes or a previous accident history, nothing along those lines. This car is 100% stock. A lot of these cars are bought and made to be race car right off the bat, and this car shows as if it has had absolutely no abuse. I mean, think about it. The clutch takes up at the very bottom of the clutch travel. What does that signify? But check this thing out on our website. You're going to find us at chicagocarsdirect.com, where you'll find 60 pictures of this S2000, or check out our YouTube channel. It's got a lot of highlights from some of our previous inventory. You'll find that at youtube.com/Chicago Cars Direct. Thanks for spending some time with us today. We'll see you next time.